Is it tough?
Very, very tough.
I got to ask you this, Mike. Is roller derby legitimate?
Very legitimate. I could show you some scars I have right now.
You skate now for the Oakland, for the Bay Bombers.
Yeah, Oakland Bay Bombers.
The #1 team in roller derby.
Right.
And you're skating tonight against the Northeast Braves.
Yes, sir.
A team that signed you originally.
Right. I used to skate for them.
Will it be a friendly rivalry, or will they be out to get you?
They'll be out to get me.
How can they get you? You're a jammer. You're an offensive player.
Yes. It's very simple to get me, being a jammer, especially when I'm coming up on the rear of the pack and they're blocking me out from scoring points. That's when you really get it.
That's right. If he buys within the state in which he resides, he can buy without a permit. However, he will need to fill out a form which will indicate that he is not a person falling into certain restricted categories. That is, he is not a felon, he is not a fugitive from justice, he is not a mental incompetent or narcotic user, and certain other prohibited categories.
Well, how fast does this information get to agents of the IRS so they can investigate and stop him before he uses it?
These explosive purchases are put in the hands of the Treasury Department, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Division daily.
Do you all have experts who can, let's say, investigate the scene where explosives are used and determine what type they are, and then know how to get to the man who bought
Yes.
that type?
We're also involved in making investigations of actual explosions and the enforcement of the criminal aspects of the law. And in this respect, the records kept by the dealers enable us in many cases to actually trace the explosives back to the purchaser.
How far along are you?
In the area of criticism in that 10% controversial part, District Attorney Henry Wade has claimed that the penal code revision brings about the lowering of maximum penalties in important crime areas like murder, robbery, sex crimes, and drug crimes. Would you, as a lawyer, feel it would be appropriate to raise those maximum penalties in order to reduce that controversy and get the whole code passed?
My feeling is, Travis, first, that in the crimes of violence, such as murder, there has not been a relaxing of the maximum penalties, that they have been carried forward. The new revision of the penal code provides for death penalty, as does the existing code.
Well, we feel like that our ball club may not have an exceptional star, but we feel like that all the boys play well and that they have something that they can contribute, maybe defense or rebounding, but they've all played extremely well in the pressure situations, and for this we're real thankful.
How do you think Polly will defend you?
Polly plays a real good sagging man-to-man defense, and they have quick guards and put pressure on the ball, and then they get good help from the big boys, which are 6'7", 6'8", and 6'4" across their front line. I think this is a real factor in the ball game, that they have so much height.
What do you feel your prospects are right now, though? Do you feel good about going into the tournament now?
Well, I tell you, I won't take anything away from this team. They're not going to surprise me. They could go down there and win those two ball games, and it's not going to surprise me. We surprised a lot of people by beating Arlington Heights, but it didn't surprise me, and anything they do is not going to surprise me.
Well, one thing for sure, you sure have a lot of student support here at Poly.
Well, that's right. These kids are behind us. There are going to be a lot of them down there. Of course, the more support, the better the team will probably play.
Thank you, Coach, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
The Fairmont Hotel in downtown Dallas also does a great deal of this city's entertainment bookings. According to General Manager Max Schnellinger, though, when you pay up to $30,000 a week, there's not a big chance of being taken. However, of course, precautions must be taken. We talked today with Manager Schnellinger and with his current attraction, none other than Mel Torme.
Mr. Schnellinger, what precautions do you use to ensure that the performer you sign is the performer you get?
With the name entertainment that I book, I don't think I use any precaution, because if I book, as I have some time ago, Sonny and Cher, I know they're far more interested in protecting their names than it would be for me to protect theirs. And if you book entertainment that's seen on television every day, and if you book them through the best agency in the country, you just don't run that risk. I think most of the entertainment contracts that we sign about 6-7 pages long in order to ensure that nobody gets hurt.
Mel Torme, how active is fraud in the entertainment industry?
I don't think it's terribly active, but I do know that there are instances of it. And, of course, fraud in any industry is the kind of thing that gets my back up. I don't like fraud. I don't like phonies. I'm rather dedicated to the truth in any form, in any walk of life.
When you deal with the likes of Mel Torme, there is very little chance of being taken because that man is quite difficult to duplicate. However, a lot of the clubs are not as fortunate as the Fairmont. They can't spend $30,000 a week for entertainers. We'll take up their plight in our next installment. This is Jim Mitchell, Channel 8 News on the Move.
We are not allowing them to make decisions on their own. So when they reach a position where they have to make a decision, they are completely frustrated.
This is the reason why you say we have formed jails for our children then?
Yes, that's an analogy I use, that what we really have been is not permissive. What we have done is build prisons around our children and then allowed them all kinds of freedom inside of it. And then when they reach the point where they want to get out of the walls, they build their own prisons, and then we are shut out of their lives.
Is that a generation gap?
That's what we call it, I think.
When it went off, well, I thought somebody shot him with a shotgun. And I broke and run.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Did it make a loud noise?
Yes, sir, like a double-barrel shotgun. You know, both barrels went off, just like both barrels. And I broke and run over in my yard, and I looked back, and that stuff was flying all up in the air, and I thought it was inside the house. And I broke and run out of my yard and went across and got Josie, the woman lives there, and told her something blowed up in the house.
Every reporter eventually reaches a crisis. What with bombs, tornadoes, wild animals, raging rivers, and press conferences, he just has to hang everything up for a while and go to a lingerie story. At Tarrant County Junior College, Alice Allen has started a class to teach girls how to construct underclothes. I immediately wanted to know why.
I think the students are taking lingerie courses because of the creativity involved. There are very few rules, and the students can really do most anything that they want.
Do you feel that they can make a quality product at home?
Definitely. With the availability of the fabrics, the elastics, and the patterns, they have tremendous successes.
Well, with the current move away from lingerie of varying sorts, do you feel that they take a course like this as a relevant part of education?
In continuing education, it certainly is relevant because the students are eager to learn new things, and this is a new facet of construction and clothing areas.
Speaking of construction of things like bras, is there a way to construct a no-bra bra?
The bra is one area that has not been perfected for the average lingerie sewer. It is being processed, the patterns are being developed, but basically they stick to slips and gowns and whatnot.
You've got to admire the restraint it took for me to keep from making a crack about the bra industry being a bust. And, oh yeah, Bob, I'm sorry, but I couldn't get any of the girls to model what they'd made. Jay Lewis, Channel 8 News on the Move at Tarrant County Junior College. We have brought the message to different parts of America to inform the people of what is going on. Our different leaders in UCCA have met with their governors, with their congressmen. We have asked to meet with President Nixon. We have brought different cases to the Supreme Court, or asked that they be brought to the Supreme Court. As you know, our headquarters is in Charlotte, North Carolina, and the Charlotte-Mecklenburg case is now before the Supreme Court, and this is a test case in busing in America, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg case. The Raymond York case is before the Supreme Court, and we have our Oklahoma delegation representing Raymond York here today. And this boy was arrested for going to his neighborhood school. So we're going to be able to find out, is a neighborhood school, is it possible to go to your neighborhood school in the United States of America, or have we lost all our freedom?
I think it'll hurt it. I think it will hurt local programming in most markets. Maybe the top X number of markets. New York City, I can well imagine that a VHF station is probably profitable enough. They can buy a first-run syndication or do a documentary once or twice a week. I don't worry so much about them. But my concern is within the lower markets, just from an economic impact, I just don't know how they're going to buy programs of network quality. Maybe I'll be wrong on this. Time alone will tell. I hope I am. But I descended to it from start to finish. I think it's a very poor rule.
What is your opinion of the OEO proposal of using CATV for minority groups?
Well, of course, the uses of CATV are something. We're having hearings all this month in Washington, more hearings, I should say, on CATV. I have no opinion on that at all because I haven't even looked at their proposal. But certainly, with the capabilities of cable, anything like this is a possibility. We have no experts on it. We get all kinds of opinions on the social and economic impact of unlimited cable, and I guess none of us really know for sure. I might add, as far as I'm concerned, and I think this is concurred by my other commissioners, that I expect that overall CATV is the most complex issue that we face. I think I know more about cable television than I do satellites, and I know very little about satellites.
In past history, most politicians at City Hall have been too downtown-oriented. Downtown politicians are fading out in popularity. Our suburban areas are growing and flourishing. It's time we pay more attention to these tax-paying citizens as well as downtown areas. Each area should get a fair share of city services and improvements. The average taxpayer already has one voice at City Hall, and I intend to ask them to return me there.
I'd like to explain just briefly how we came to select the 4 persons for candidacy for our endorsement for the April 3rd election. LEAD is a volunteer organization that seeks to endorse candidates who have the experience or the knowledge of education, who will not stand by and compromise with less than excellence in education for all the citizens of Dallas, and thirdly, who have the time and the energy to serve on the school board. This is a very difficult and demanding job, and the persons who serve on the school board make many personal sacrifices on behalf of the citizens of Dallas. LEAD is proud to have searched over the county, have talked to all of the 10 candidates who would speak to LEAD for endorsements, and is confident that it has selected the best candidates for each of the 4 places.
The basis that the Attorney General is going to follow when he files this suit, as he agreed to do last Thursday afternoon, is the federal Sherman Antitrust Act, which makes it illegal for an insurance company to require a person or a group of people to buy one kind of coverage that they do not want as a condition to buying insurance which they do want and which the law requires them to carry.
What's the example of an alleged violation of this?
Well, an example would be if a school district went to an insurance company and said, we want to buy bodily injury insurance coverage for our school buses, so that if we injure someone in our school bus, they can recover. And the insurance company would say, we will write that coverage only if you agree to carry property damage insurance on your school buses. Now, under the law, that school district can in no way be ever held responsible for property damage that it may cause.
What we're doing here is signing peace treaties, and those will be presented to the President.
At what time?
That has yet to be planned. I believe it'll be around May 1st, sometime around it. Methods are going to be pretty well left up to each individual. Some people feel that writing to congressmen is the best way, and we feel that, you know, if that's what they want to do, then that's fine. Also, other people feel that demonstrations in the streets are the best way. You know, everybody has different ideas on how they should implement the treaty, and that's just open to individual interpretation.